slides. So this is the we have discussed this episodic the periods of secretion, and then we have also discussed the physiological importance of pulsatile hormone release, then the feedback mechanism, negative feedback effects of cortisone, then the feedback control of insulin by a glucose concentration, how it is going to perform, that the concentration of the plasma triggers the um, stimulation of insulin, which produce the insulin in a higher concentration that controls the insulin, the glucose level, and when the glucose level reaches to a normal level, then it stops the release of insulin from pancreas. We have also discussed that the function of the hypothalamus is to cause the appetite, thirst, body temperature, control the body temperature, then the vasomotor activity, emotions, use of a body nutrient reserves, activity of the intestine, sleep, sexual behavior, and release of tropic hormones. Is all these are being controlled by the hypothalamus. So we have also discussed the chemical structures of the hormones. They are polypeptides, then the modified amino acid, then the protein nature hormones, and then sex, steroid hormones, and fatty acid. The hormones produced by the from the fatty acids. So the precursor of the hormones are polypeptides, amino acids, proteins, uh, then the steroids and fatty acids. So we have discussed all these uh, structures, and then we have also discussed the molecular weight of all those steroid or even the chemical structure of the hormones. So molecular size of the hormones has been discussed, how it is regulating the, and all those hormones which is regulating the reproductive um, functions, that is the follicular stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, prolactin hormone, human chorionic gonadotropin hormone, and the equine chorionic gonadotropin hormone, prolactin. All these hormones are discussed, and then detail has been given to you. So the chemical structure of hormones has been that how the polypeptides are made, and then the steroid are made. It is being recommended that the steroid hormones can be taken orally, whereas the polypeptides or protein hormones cannot be taken orally. They are degenerate. So we have also discussed that the anterior pituitary hormone, placental hormones, and then major hormones and systems. There are top two organizations of endocrine systems. The hypothalamus produce the releasing factors that stimulate the production of anterior pituitary hormones, which act on the peripheral endocrine glands to stimulate the release of a third hormone. A specific example has been given to you, that is the posterior pituitary hormones are synthesized in the neural cell bodies in the hypothalamus and are released via synapses in the posterior pituitary. Oxytocin or antidiuretic hormone is one of the example of that one. Then the types of hormones were discussed, that are polypeptide and protein hormones, amino acid derivatives hormones, steroid hormones, or fatty acid derivatives like eicosanoids. So we have also discussed the range of a 3 amino acids to 100. These are the previous slides which are we have covered in the last two lectures. So I am covering all those slides which is remaining now. So we will start our lecture, today's lecture, from our remaining slides. So the polypeptides are protein hormones range from a 3 amino acids to 100 of amino acids in size, often produce as longer molecule weight precursors that are proteolytically cleaved to the active form of the hormones. Peptide or protein hormones are water soluble and comprise the largest number of hormones, perhaps in thousands. So polypeptide hormones or protein hormones are encoded by a specific gene which is transcribed into a messenger RNA and the translated into a protein precursors called a preprohormone. So preprohormones are often post-translationally modified in the erythrocyte to contain the carbohydrates. Glycosylation is known as the carbohydrates. So the pro hormones contain a signal peptides, that is the hydrophobic amino acids, which targets them to the Golgi, where signal sequence is removed to form a prohormone. So the prohormone is made in the Golgi apparatus, and the prohormone is processed into active hormone. In the Golgi apparatus, the preprohormone in the nucleus is going to be converted into a prohormone, and the prohormone is converted into the Golgi apparatus and packaged into a secretory vesicles that is converted into an active hormone, and then this is packaged in the secretory vesicles. Then the secretory vesicles moves to the plasma membrane where they await a signal. When there is a signal is arrived by the deficiency of the products, then it stimulates the vesicles, then they are exocytosed and secreted into the bloodstream. Then the hormone will be released into the bloodstreams when there are signals are reached from the products, and the products under the negative feedback mechanisms gives to the signals to the vesicles so that the vesicles may have to release the hormone into the bloodstream. So the hormones are already prepared by the Golgi apparatus. They are being encoded into the vesicles so that the vesicles are ready to, in the need, whenever there is a need of the hormones, they released and the hormone into the bloodstream. In some cases, the prohormones is secreted and converted into the extracellular fluid into the active form, active hormone. So sometimes the prohormone is secreted and converted into a extracellular. So they are not converted, or they are not stored in the into the secretory vesicles, but they are being given into the extracellular fluids in the active form. For example, angiotensin is secreted by the liver, converted into the active form by enzymes, secreted by kidney and the lungs. So this is the one of the example that the angiotensin is being made into the active, and then it is released into the extracellular fluid directly without packaging it into the vesicles. So the polypeptide hormones is this is one of the DNA is a transcription into the pre-mRNA messenger RNA, and the pre-messenger RNA is converted into the messenger RNA, and the transition is that is given pre-protein, and then the pre-protein modulation made a protein, and the protein is transported into the biological action, and this is the way of making a pre secretory or even that is a post secretory translation. So this is the one of the method that how the hormones are being made, secreted, and then the action of the hormone starts when they are being converted into active hormone. So there is a amine hormones, as we have discussed about the polypeptide hormones, then the protein hormones. Now we are talking about the amine hormones. There are two groups of hormones derived from amino acid, tyrosine. Thyroid hormones are and catecholamine. These are the two hormones which is made of a amino acids. So the thyroxine is that the tyrosine can be converted into a thyroxine, or it may be converted as a epinephrine. So epinephrine is a catecholamine, and the thyroxine is a thyroid hormone. So the thyroid hormones are basically a double tyrosine with the critical incorporation of a 3 or a 4 iodine atoms. So thyroxine can be a T3 or can be a T4. Whenever there the 4 iodines on the 2 pyrene groups is attached, then it is known as a T4 thyroid hormone. Whereas the whenever there is a 3 iodines are attached on the 2 pyrene uh, groups, that is the T3. So the thyroid hormone is produced by the thyroid gland and is lipid soluble. Thyroid hormones are produced by the modification of a tyrosine residue contained in a thyroglobulin, post translationally modified to bind the iodine. So then the proteolytically cleaved and released as a T4 and a T3. T3 and a T4 then binds to the thyroxine binding globulin for a transport into the blood. So this is the thyroid hormones structure. T4 is the upper one. The iodine attaches on the carbon number 3 and carbon number 4 in pyroxene 1. Then the iodine again attaches on the carbon number 3 and carbon number 4. So these are the 4 iodines are attached on the 3 and 5 carbon in the 2 pyrene rings, whereas the in a T3, in the first pyrene ring only the iodine is attached on the carbon number 3, whereas the carbon number 5 and 3 again the 2 iodine elements are attached. So this made the um, triiodothyronine, and tetraiodothyronine. The thyroxine T4 or a thyroxine T3 are made by attachment of a iodine bonds on two pyrene groups, pyrene rings. So catecholamines are both neurohormones and neurotransmitters. These includes the epinephrine and norepinephrine. Epinephrine and norepinephrine are produced by the adrenal medulla. Both are water soluble, secreted like a peptide hormones. So this is the model of a synthesis of catecholamine, that the modulators, which is synthetic step, in which the tyrosine under the sympathetic stimulation and the presence of a tyrosine hydroxylase is converted into a dihydroxyphenylalanine, that is known as a DOPA. DOPA, in the presence of amino acid decarboxylase, is converted into a dopamine. So dopamine, under the stimulation, synthetic stimulation, the dopamine beta hydroxylase converts this dopamine into a epinephrine, norepinephrine, and the norepinephrine again in the presence of a phenyl ethanolamine N and methyl transferase. This is the stimulation of a cortisol. Whenever the cortisol are more and higher in a concentration, that stimulate the norepinephrine to be converted into a epinephrine, and that epinephrine are being taken up by the bloodstream. So amine hormones are of a two other amino acids are used for synthesis of hormones. This is a tryptophan and glutamic acid. So these are the two hormones, two amine hormones, which has a precursors tryptophan to make a serotonin or a melatonin, which is a pineal hormone, or glutamic acid is converted into a histamine. Whereas the steroid hormones, all steroid hormones are derived from cholesterol and differs only in the ring structure and the side chains attached to it. So all steroid hormones are lipid soluble. So types of steroid hormones are glucocorticoids, which is cortisol. Cortisol is the major representative in the most mammals. So the glucocorticoid are cortisols. Mineral corticoids are like aldosterones. Androgens like testosterones. Estrogens like estradiol are estrone. Progestogens are like progestins and such as progestins. This is the examples of a steroid hormones. There are six types of these steroid hormones, which is all are not packaged. They are synthesized and secreted, immediately released into the blood streams, are all derived from the same parent compound, cholesterol, and enzymes which produce the steroid hormones from cholesterols are located in the mitochondria and smooth erythrocyte reticulum. So the steroids are a lipid soluble and thus are freely permeable to membranes, so are not stored in the cells. So the steroid hormone is secreted, synthesized, secreted, and immediately released, and they are being controlled quickly, and they are being stopped. Even the production of the steroids are when stopped, then immediately the effect or the function on the target cells is also stopped quickly. So this is the steroid hormones. They don't go to for a longer period of effect. So they are steroid hormones are not water soluble. So they have to be carried out in the blood complex to specific binding globulins. So corticosteroids binding globulin carries a cortisol. Sex steroid binding globulin carries a testosterone estradiol. So in some cases, a steroid is secreted by a one cell and is converted to the active steroid by the target cells. Example is androgen secreted by the gonads converted into estrogen in the brain. This is the one of the example. The steroid can be transformed to active steroid in the target cell, like testosterone. When the testosterone is released by the gonads, then it reaches to the in the cells where, in the presence of the receptors, the diestryl dihydrotestosterone, which is the active form of a testosterone in the male, they received by the receptors. So when it enters in the cell, the testosterone is converted into a dihydrotestosterone, and then the receptors receive the dihydrotestosterone, which affects on the target cells in the nucleus and the chromosomes. The same testosterone which is reaches in the cell of a female, they are converted into estradiol, which is received by the receptors, where it attaches to the receptors and affect to the uh, nucleus or the chromosomes. These are the steroidogenic enzymes, which is responsible for converting the cholesterol into the different steroid hormones, active steroid hormones. So this is the side chain cleavage enzyme that is known as desmolase. This is the common name of the enzyme which cleavage the side chain of the steroid hormones. This is the old name of the enzyme was the P450 SCC, and now it is known as a CYP11A1. So this enzyme is known as a commonly desmolase. So this causes the cleavage of the side chain of the enzymes. 3 beta hydroxy steroid dihydroxygenase is a common name of the enzyme. 3 beta HSD having a same name today, that is a 3 beta HSD, whereas the 17 alpha hydroxylase 1720 lyase is known as a P450 C17, which is known in a current name is a CYP 17. 21 hydroxylase is also known as a P450 C21, which is known today's is a CYP21A2, whereas the 11 beta hydroxylase is known as a P450 C11. The CYP11B1 is now current name. Now the aldosterone the aldosterone synthase is the common name, and P450 C11 is a CYP11B12. B2 is a current name. Aromatase is a P450 Aero, and now the name is the CYP19. This is the cholesterol which has to be converted into a pre-nolonone, and then it is converted into a 17 hydroxy preganolone, and then it is converted into the dehydroxy uh, destrol. So this is going to be converted into a lastly into a estrone, and then the testosterone, and then the estradiol. The testosterone and the estrone is converted into estradiol. So these are the major progesterone, which is given into the red color, and then the major um, major mineral corticoids are given in a green color, and the major glucocorticoids are specified with the yellow color, and then the major gonadotropins are given into the pink color, and then the major gonadal androgens are given into the blue color. So this is the steps in which the gray is showing the steps of converting the steroid hormones from a cholesterol. So the steroid hormone synthesis, all steroid hormones are derived from the cholesterol. A series of enzymes steps in the mitochondria are erythrocyte reticulums of steroidogenic tissues convert the cholesterol into all of the other steroid hormones and intermediates. The rate limiting the steps in this process is the transport of a free cholesterol from the cytoplasm into the mitochondria. This step is carried out by the steroidogenic acute regulatory protein. The cholesterol precursors comes from a cholesterol synthesized within the cell from the acetate from a cholesterol stores in the intracellular lipids. Droplets are from an uptake of a cholesterol containing low density lipoproteins. So the lipoproteins taken up from the plasma are most important when the steroidogenic cells and chemically stimulated. This is the sketch which is showing that how the acetate and the cholesterol pool and the extracellular lipoproteins coins down joins to make a cholesterol effects at the presence of this enzyme. It is converted into the preprogesterone, and then the progesterone is converted in the presence of a 3-beta HSG. Then the P450C17 effects on the progesterone convert the progesterone into the androstenedione, and the 17 beta HSD enzyme has to convert the androstenedione into the testosterone. The 125 dihydroxy vitamin D3 uh, is also derived from the cholesterol and is a lipid soluble. Not really vitamin, as it can be synthesized in de novo, acts as a true hormone. Now the fatty acid drives, this is the eicosanoids. Arachidonic acid is the most abundant precursor of these hormones. A store of arachidonic acid are present in the membrane lipids and released through the action of a various lipases. The specific eicosanoids synthesized by a cell are detected by the battery of a processing of enzymes expressed in that cell. These hormones are rapidly inactivated by the being metabolized and are typically active only few seconds. So the eicosanoids are a large group of molecules derived from a polyunsaturated fatty acids. The principal group of hormones of this class are prostaglandin, prostacyclins, leukotrienes, and thromboxanes. These are the prostaglandin. F2 alpha is the most commonly used, even a commercially used hormone of a eicosanoid. So placental hormones which are derived uh, for a commercial use are estrogen. The they are found in the urine of the mare. The Primarine is a commercial name. The name of the estrogen which is sold for the use of um, to prevent the estrogen replacement therapy, or even to prevent the osteoporosis, or even reduces the heart diseases. So this the Primarine is a commercial name of a estrogen which is derived from the placenta uh, of the mare. So this also this estrogen is also found in the urine of a mare, but mostly these commercial hormones are derived from the placenta of the mare, and then they are commercially available and utilized for for the replacement therapy as a estrogen, or even to prevent the osteoporosis, to prevent the heart diseases. The human chorionic gonadotropin hormone is also derived from the placenta, and it has a luteinizing activity. So that is found in the blood and urine of the urine. If you want to detect that the human chorionic gonadotropin level, we can detect the level of a human chorionic gonadotropin by the detection of this hormone in the blood and the urine. This functions to prevent the regression of a corpus luteum. So this commercial hormone is utilized to stop the regression of hormones whenever there is a indications of a abortion, there is the indications of a the any abnormality having causing straining. So it is being reduced by the use of these hormones. Human chorionic gonadotropin hormone having the functions uh, as I told you that it is like a luteinizing hormone. So the placental lactogen hormone is also made from the placenta, and the gonad having both activities like gonadotropin hormone and prolactin activity. So it produces the milk, or increases the production of the milk in the and primary effects to prepare the mother's mammary glands for lactation. If the mammary glands are smaller or mammary glands are not well developed, this prolactin, the commercial available prolactin hormone can be utilized to produce or well develop the mammary glands of the mothers to produce higher lactation of the milk. So this can also affect as a gonadotropin hormone. So the placenta, from a placenta, even the pregnant mare serum gonadotropin hormone is produced for commercial use. Equine chorionic gonadotropin hormone also produced from a placenta of the mare. So the contains mainly the follicular stimulating hormone activity or luteinizing activity. So has a longer half-life than the follicular stimulating hormone. So the equine chorionic gonadotropin hormone is having a follicular stimulating activity and a luteinizing activity, but it has a higher half-life, so it remains in the body to act and perform the luteinizing effect or a follicular stimulating effect for a longer time when it is being injected in exogenously in the animals. So it is found the concentration can be detected in the blood and as well as in the urine. So the function of these equine chorionic gonadotropin and even the pregnant mare serum gonadotropin hormone is to stimulate the follicular development during the pregnancy in the mare, or luteinizing like effect activity stimulates some developing follicles to ovulate and form the accessory corpus luteum uh, in the mare. The gonadotropin polypeptide hormone, like relaxin, made of two polypeptides that are connected with a disulfide bonds. It is similar in a size and structure to insulin. So secreted by the corpus luteum during pregnancy. In some species, it may be secreted by the uterus and or a placenta. So generally requires tissues first to expose to estrogen for its effect. So function of this relaxin is to dilate the cervix and inhibits the urine contraction. So the contraction will be stopped by the relaxin. It relaxes the muscles and it dilates the cervix. So it helps in the parturition, and the fetus may have to come down through a cervix very easily when the relaxin hormone acts on the target cells. So gonadopolypeptide hormones like inhibin secretes by the sertoli cells in the male and granulosa cells in the female. It functions to inhibit the follicular stimulating secretions without altering luteinizing secretion, luteinizing hormone secretion. So the gonadal steroid hormone is originally the origin where from they are being secreted or where they are being synthesized are ovaries, testicle, and adrenal gland. The gonadal steroids are of a cholesterol is 27 carbons, progestin having 21 carbons, androgen having 19 carbons, and the estrogen having 18 carbons. So in the presence of enzymes, the cleavage of the carbons has been taken place, and then the cholesterol is converted into the progestin, and progestin is converted into the androgen, and androgen is converted into estrogen. So the androgen, an example is a testosterone produced by the Leydig cells in the testis, theca interna in the follicles, and by the adrenal glands. So there are three sources of a testosterone. One is the Leydig cells of the testis, other is the theca interna of the follicles, and the adrenal gland of the uh, male or a female. So they transported in the blood by a binding to the protein and steroids binding globulin. So the active form is often dihydrotestosterone, which is and the testosterone, when it reaches into the target cell, then it is converted into the dihydrotestosterone, which is the active form of the hormone, where this acts on the cells. The gonadotropin steroid hormones, the functions in the male is to stimulate the spermatogenesis, maintain the function of the epididymis, promotes the growth, development, and activity of the accessory sex glands and secondary sex organs, development of a male secondary sex characteristics, anabolic activities, inhibit the gonadotropin releasing hormone, and inhibits the luteinizing hormone release. The estrogen is an example of estradiol produced by the granulosa cells of the follicles in the female, centralized cells in the testes, and the placenta of the mother and the adrenal glands releases the estrogen. So transported in the blood by a steroid binding globulin. The function of the steroid hormone is that estrogen is that effects on the central nervous system, increases the mass of the uterus, increases the contractility of the uterus, development of the female sex characteristics, growth of the mammary gland ducts, stimulates or inhibits the gonadotropin-releasing hormone, and luteinizing hormone release. A non-reproductive action is the calcium uptake and a bone ossification, anabolic and a growth effect. So the estrogen having the two functions, reproductive functions and as well as the metabolic functions. The progestin
काफी देर से आपकी आवाज ही नहीं आ रही.
ओके मैं देखता हूँ क्यों
सर अच्छे भाई सर
हमें तो
अच्छे भाई अच्छा है ना
हमें
क्या
आ
है
सर हमें तो आ रही है.
सही पे
आपको आ रही हाँ तो उसको अपनी प्रॉब्लम होगी उसके माइक में या उस प्रॉब्लम होगी क्योंकि सब बाकियों को आ रही है उसको नहीं आ रही है तो इसका मतलब है उसकी माइक खराब है. Progestin an example of a progesterone the produced in the corpus luteum में प्रोड्यूस होता है, प्लेसेंटा में प्रोड्यूस होता है और एड्रिनल ग्लैंड में प्रोड्यूस होता है. The transported in the blood bound to a steroid binding globulin. तो ये ट्रांसपोर्ट होता है ब्लड में after a binding with a globulin. The function of the progesterone is to prepare the uterus for implantation and a pregnancy. So the progesterone maintains the pregnancy in the females, acts with the estrogen to induce the behavior of pattern of the estrus, and imbalance may have to cause the estrous cycle. If the progesterone level reduces and estrogen level increases, definitely the estrous cycle will develop, and then the parturition act has to be started if it happens whenever the corpus luteum is regressed or utilized, and then the progesterone release decreases, then the estrogen release increases, and this imbalance has to perform the act of a parturition. This progesterone also develops the alveoli of a mammary glands, so it helps to development of a mammary glands, inhibits the rise of a luteinizing hormone. ल्यूटिलाइजिंग हार्मोन को प्रोड्यूस नहीं होने देता, एंड अगर ये ल्यूटिलाइजिंग हार्मोन इंक्रीज होगा तो दैट विल कॉज द regression of a corpus luteum, utilizing of a corpus luteum, and this act will cause the act of a parturition or even the abortion if it is occurring during the pregnancy. So that causes the ovulation by inhibiting the gonadotropin-releasing hormone and even inhibiting the luteinizing hormone. So it initiates the ovulation of the female. So the follicles will develop whenever the progesterone will increase in the body in a non-pregnant animals. Whereas in the pregnant animals, it maintains the pregnancy. The prostaglandin is another hormone which is commercially produced. As I told you, it is used. Say a lipid prostaglandin, the fatty acid phospholipids is converted in the phospholipid or fatty acids are the precursor uh, of the hormone prostaglandin hormone. So the arachidonic acid is a precursor to produce a prostaglandin, and the cyclooxygenase act on enzyme act on the fatty acids to convert it into the prostaglandin. The prostaglandin can be a prostaglandin E2 or prostaglandin F2 alpha. So these two prostaglandins are produced by cleavaging, and in the presence of a cyclooxygenase, these are converted into the prostaglandin. The two prostaglandin types are produced in the animals. The prostaglandins are produced by all tissues of a body and can have a local effect on tissues, same tissues which produce it, rapidly degraded by the lungs. Whereas the rate is limiting by the phospholipase A2. If the phospholipase is increased, then it is enhanced quickly. The arachidonic acid is developed, then the cyclooxygenase will activate as the act of converting the fatty acids into a prostaglandin. So aspirin can inhibit this development of a prostaglandin. If the animals are being given aspirin, then the cyclooxygenase can be inhibited by this drug. So causes of this prostaglandin E2 causes the vasodilation of a blood vessels, and then maintain the corpus luteum and perform a ovulation, and even it helps in the embryo implantation. Whereas the prostaglandin causes the vasoconstriction of a blood vessels, and then it affects on the luteal cells of the corpus luteum, and the lutealize causes the corpus luteum regression. So the regression will initiate the parturition or abortion. So the involved with the ovulation, parturition, and sperm transport. So this is the act of the prostaglandins, that both the prostaglandin will affect on the ovulation, parturition, and sperm transportation. The other hormone is a melatonin. The melatonin is secreted by the pineal glands and is modified amino acid and functions to integrate the effect of a light on a reproductive process. So the hormone like a human menopausal gonadotropin, this is secreted from the anterior pituitary gland during and after a menopause, has a follicular stimulating like activity, and is actually a modified follicular stimulating hormone with a longer half-life, results from a lack of a steroidal feedback. So can be collected in the urine and sold to stimulate the follicular development in women. So this is a commercial hormone which is used as a treatment to stimulate the folliculars development, and that is also reduces the infertility and produces and causes the ovulation to produce the ova, which is utilized for the fertilization and development of the fetus. Thank you very much. This is the last slide which I have converted that presented over here. Now uh, we will start the questions and